The second part of the film begins with Harry Potter, and he is sitting alone in his room, and it appears on him bored and depressed because his friends did not communicate with him since the last time he was present in the school. And at the same time, we see Vernon preparing himself important guests coming in order to agree on a big commercial deal. And he and his wife, on Harry and orders him not to exit from his room as long as these guests are present. And we know that Vernon and his wife hate Harry because his mother and his father were from the wizards, and they basically hate the wizards and the magic. And when Harry returns to his room again, he is surprised in front of him with a strange creature. Its shape small and its eyes wide. And we know that this creature, it's named Dobby, and it is a house elf, works at a magical family. And Dobby begins to talk to Harry in a strange way and tells him that he came to warn him from returning to Hogwarts because there is a big conspiracy and severe danger will face them there. And of course, Harry gets shocked and tries to understand from him more. But Dobby behaves in a hysterical way, and every time Harry tells him that he must go to the school, Dobby begins to hit himself. And all this, and Harry tries to calm him so that he does not make noise. And we know that Harry's friends were sending him many letters the past period, but Dobby stole them all before they reach Harry. And all Dobby's concerned now, that he does not let Harry return to the school in any way, because he is afraid for him from the danger that exists there. So he causes between him and Vernon, so that Vernon punishes him and does not let him go to the school. And indeed, Vernon locks Harry in the room and tells him that he will not return to Hogwarts again. And at night, while Harry is sleeping, he wakes up from sleep to the sound of noise outside the window. So he looks and finds a flying car standing in the air, and inside it Ron Weasley and his twin brothers, Fred and George, and they came to escape him out of the house. So quickly, Harry prepares his bag and takes his owl with him and rides with them the flying car, and they escape quickly, all of them. And the next morning, they arrive with the car to the house of the Weasley family. And although the house simple, but Harry likes it because everything in it works with magic. And after that, Ron's father and mother welcome Harry, and he sits to breakfast with them. And after a while, a letter comes to them from Hogwarts, written in it the supplies and tools that they will bring for the new year. So Ron's father takes them to Diagon Alley in order to buy all the magic supplies from there. And there, Harry meets Hermione, and they greet each other. And after that, they enter the bookstore from which they will buy the books. Inside the bookstore, there is a big gathering around an author and famous wizard, his name Lockhart, and who writes books about his adventures in which he fights dangerous creatures. And when he sees Harry, he exploits him in order to take more fame and pulls in front of the cameras in order to take pictures together forcibly. And in this meantime, the wizard Lucius and Draco Malfoy arrive at the bookstore, and he begins to bully the Weasley family because they are the poorest family among the wizards. And of course, Arthur, Ron's father, is upset and does not know how to respond to him. And on the travel day to Hogwarts, all the students are present at the station and pass through the wall that enters them to the secret platform number 9 3/4. But when Harry's and Ron's turn comes, they find the wall through which they pass closed suddenly, and the train misses them. And of course, they are both confused and do not know how to act. So Ron thinks of a crazy idea and decides to use his father's flying car in order to go with it to the school. And they continue flying with the car until they arrive at night to Hogwarts. But from their bad luck, Snape summons them to his office and continues to scold them because many people from the general public saw them while they were flying with the car. And Snape wants to expel them from the school. But Dumbledore arrives at that moment and calms the atmosphere and decides to give them a second chance and forgives them. And the next day, the new school year begins, and they attend a class with Professor Lockhart, who will teach them the subject of defense against the dark arts. And at night, Harry begins to hear a strange voice calling him, so he continues walking behind the voice until he meets Ron and Hermione and tells them that he always hears a strange voice calling him. And suddenly, they find a wall in front of them and written on it with blood that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened, and all the students who are from the general public, their end will be tragic. And these students who are from the general public are those whose parents are not wizards. And at the moment, Dumbledore and all the teachers arrive, and they are shocked by what happened, and they all continue looking at each other, and they are silent. And the next day, in Professor McGonagall's class, she asks Hermione to tell them what exactly the story of this Chamber of Secrets is. So she gets nervous. But she has to answer her question and tells them that Hogwarts School was founded 1,000 years ago by the greatest 4 wizards in the world, and who are the owners of the 4 houses in the school, and which the students were sorted into in their first school year. But Slytherin, founder of Slytherin House, was objecting that the wizards whose mother and father are from the general public joined Hogwarts School, and left the school and walked. But before he walked, he built a secret chamber in the school. And this chamber, its name, Chamber of Secrets. And inside it, there is a monster will kill all the students whose parents are without wizards. And no one will be able to open this Chamber of Secrets except Slytherin's heir. And currently, the chamber has been opened. And this means that the heir is present in the school. And after the class, Harry and his friends continue to guess with each other who is Slytherin's heir. And they are suspicious of Draco Malfoy because he continues to bully Hermione and insult her because her father and her mother are from the general public. And on this day, there is a Quidditch match between Gryffindor and Slytherin. And the match is going normally until suddenly a Quidditch ball begins to attack Harry and drops him to the ground, and his arm breaks. But despite that, he can still win his team. And after that, Harry is transferred to the hospital in order to treat his injury. And at night, he finds Dobby appeared in front of him, and he feels guilty and tells him that he is the one who closed the wall that was at the station so that he does not reach the platform and does not ride the train and go to the school. And he is also the one who made the Quidditch ball attack him in order to prevent him from staying in Hogwarts. And this because this school is dangerous for him, and he wants to protect him. And Dobby tells them that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened for the second time, and this matter will not pass well. And of course, Harry is surprised and asks him who opened the Chamber of Secrets the first time, but Dobby refuses to answer and continues to hit himself because he spoke basically and said information he was not supposed to say because his masters might punish him. And before Harry asks him about anything else, he hears the sound of footsteps coming from the end of the hospital wing. So quickly, Dobby disappears in a moment and leaves Harry in confusion and fear of what is coming. And at that time, Dumbledore enters the hospital with a petrified student. And we know that this student was petrified after the Chamber of Secrets was opened, and also his parents are from the general public. And this means that the monster inside the Chamber of Secrets targets the wizards whose parents general public and petrifies them. And these wizards whose parents are from the general public are called Muggleborn, meaning owners of non-pure blood, and this because their families are not wizards. And after a few days, Harry leaves the hospital and goes to attend a lesson with Professor Lockhart, and he teaches them in this lesson new spells in order to defend themselves against the dark wizards, and he makes Harry compete with Draco. And at that time, Draco uses a spell summons with it a snake in order to attack Harry. But the strange thing is Harry begins to talk to the snake and makes it submit to his control. And of course, all of them are shocked, and especially Snape. So quickly, Snape gets rid of the snake before the matter escalates. And after the class, Ron and Hermione go to ask Harry how he can speak the language of snakes. So Harry tells them that he was not feeling himself while he was talking to the snake. So his friends surprise him that the only person who could speak to snakes was Voldemort. And more precisely, that Slytherin's evil wizards like Voldemort and Slytherin are the only ones who had this ability. And from here, the whole school begins to suspect that Harry Potter is Slytherin's heir, and all of them take a side from him. And on the same night, another student from the Muggleborns is petrified, and Harry sees him by chance. And after this incident, the headmaster summons Harry to his office, and Harry thinks that he wants to investigate with him because of the incidents that are happening. So Harry swears to him that he has nothing to do with what is happening. But Dumbledore reassures him that he is not suspicious of him at all, and asks him to tell him about any strange thing happening in the school, and he will help him. But Harry refuses to tell him about what happened to him. And the next day we see Harry and Ron entering the bathroom, and they are surprised that the bathroom is flooded with water. And in the bathroom, they find a ghost of a girl who died in the school, her name Myrtle, and she is sitting crying because a student threw a book at her and mocks her because she is a ghost. So Harry takes this book and discovers that it is a diary for a person, his name Tom Riddle. So Harry goes to sit alone at the desk and opens the diary. And the strange thing is, he finds it completely empty. So he holds a pen and writes his name on one of the pages and introduces himself. And suddenly, the diary begins to respond to him and tells him that it will explain to him everything that happened 50 years ago concerning the Chamber of Secrets. And suddenly, the diary takes him back 50 years, and Harry finds himself in the school and became as if he is a ghost and can see and hear people, but no one sees him. And there, he sees Tom Riddle himself, and he is looking at the body of a girl from the Muggle-borns who was killed because someone opened the Chamber of Secrets. And at that time, Tom went to Hagrid and told him that the monster he is raising is the one who killed the student, and accuses him also that he is the one who opened the Chamber of Secrets, and tells him that he will report him in order to expel him from the school. And the idea that Hagrid is raising a spider actually, but he did not harm anyone before. And although Hagrid defended himself, but no one believed him except Dumbledore. And unfortunately, Hagrid was expelled from the school, and this after they accused him that he opened the Chamber of Secrets. But after that, Dumbledore returned him to the school again and made him a keeper. And after moments, Harry returns to the present again and goes to tell his friends that Hagrid is the one who opened the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago. But none of them is convinced by this talk, and Harry personally is not convinced and is suspicious that Tom Riddle is behind something not right. And he framed Hagrid. And on the same night, Tom Riddle's diary is stolen from Harry's room, and no one knows who stole it. And the next day, Harry prepares for the Quidditch match. But he is surprised that the match is canceled because another student was petrified, and he is shocked that this student is Hermione. And he is very surprised that there was a mirror in her hand when she was petrified. And also, Harry notices that there is a paper in her other hand. So he takes the paper, and it is written on it the name of the monster that makes the students petrify. And we know that this monster, it's named Basilisk, and imprisoned in the Chamber of Secrets, and that it is a giant snake, kills anyone who looks directly into its eye. And what happened is all these students who were petrified saw the monster but did not see it directly. Meaning, for example, Hermione saw its reflection in the mirror, and someone was petrified saw its reflection in his camera, and someone else saw its reflection in the water. And in this meantime, Harry and Ron hear on the microphone that there is an emergency, so they continue walking behind the teachers without anyone noticing them. And they discover here that Slytherin's heir kidnapped a student and imprisoned her in the Chamber of Secrets. And the shock here, that this student is Ginny, Ron's little sister, and McGonagall decides that she appoints Lockhart in order to kill the monster himself because he is a wizard defender against the dark arts. And of course, Lockhart gets nervous, but he pretends that he agrees and tells her that he will go to his office in order to prepare himself for the battle. So Harry and Ron go behind Lockhart in order to help him, but they are surprised that he is packing his clothes in order to escape because he is afraid of the confrontation. But the two of them prevent him from escaping and take his wand from him. And after that, they take him with them to Myrtle because they feel that this girl knows something about the Chamber of Secrets. So Myrtle hints to them that the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets is here in the bathroom. So Harry looks at the bathroom sink and finds drawn on it a snake. So he knows that this is the entrance and uses his ability to communicate in the language of snakes and opens the Chamber of Secrets and descends, he and Ron and Lockhart, to the chamber. And as soon as they descend below, Lockhart exploits the moment and pulls Ron's broken wand in order to cast a magic spell on them in order to lose memory. But because the wand is broken, the spell rebounds on him, and he loses memory. So Ron decides to stay with Lockhart until Harry goes to the Chamber of Secrets. And as soon as Harry arrives at the Chamber of Secrets, he finds Ginny thrown on the ground and lost consciousness. And suddenly, Tom Riddle appears in front of him, and it becomes clear here that Tom is Slytherin's legitimate heir, and he is the one who was able to open the Chamber of Secrets when he was a student in Hogwarts 50 years ago. And of course, Harry is surprised how Tom Riddle is standing in front of him now, and also in his young appearance. So Tom tells him that he exists in the form of preserved memories inside his magic diary. And this diary has a strong magic spell that allows Tom to control the mind and body of the one who writes in it. And Ginny was writing in it her secrets and her fears. And gradually he controlled her and made her write the messages on the walls and open the Chamber of Secrets without her being aware what she is doing. And the biggest surprise that shocks Harry that Tom Riddle is the same as Voldemort. And Tom continues talking and tells Harry that he is the true Slytherin's heir, and he is the one who released the basilisk. And he is the one who controlled Ginny and will kill her and will take her strength in order to return human again, instead of being just a memory existing in his diary. But at the moment, Dumbledore sends his phoenix bird to Harry and gives him an empty hat. And after that, immediately, Tom summons the monster in the language of snakes in order to attack Harry. So quickly, the phoenix bird intervenes and pierces the monster's eyes, because as soon as it looks into Harry's eyes, it will die immediately. But the monster still does not surrender and comes out running behind Harry, although it does not see but hears his voice. And at that time, a sword appears from the hat with Harry. So Harry pulls the sword and kills the monster with it. And after that, Harry takes the monster's fang and stabs it into Tom's diary. And at that time, Tom dies immediately. And after a while, Ginny wakes up, and the phoenix bird comes to take Harry and those with him and returns them to the school. And Dumbledore summons Harry to his office in order to thank him for the heroic position he did, and notices that Harry is upset about something. So he asks him about what is upsetting him. So Harry tells him that he noticed that there are common things between him and Voldemort, like that they speak the language of snakes, and this matter scares him. So Dumbledore explains to him that when Voldemort tried to kill him long ago and failed, a part of Voldemort's power and soul entered him, and therefore there are common traits between them. But these traits do not have to be bad, because he is the one who controls them. But Voldemort chose that evil controls him, and in this meantime, Lucius and Dobby arrive at them, and it becomes clear that Dobby is Lucius's personal servant, and Lucius says he came in order to know who opened the Chamber of Secrets. And when he knows that Voldemort is the one who opened it, he is shocked, and shocked more when he knows that he died. And after that, Harry is able to free Dobby from Lucius's control and makes him a free elf by giving him his sock. And this because the magic elves, in order to free from their slavery, must take clothes or anything from another person other than the person they serve. And the next day, all the students who were petrified return to their natural state again, and Dumbledore has made a meeting for all the students and surprises them that he decided to cancel the exams this year because of the circumstances that happened. And Hagrid arrives at the hall, and he is happy because finally the proof of his innocence appeared after more than 50 years, and goes to thank Harry for everything he did with him. So Harry tells him that the school has no taste without him and hugs him. And at that moment, Dumbledore stands from his place and claps for him, and all the people clap behind him for Hagrid. And all the young students come out running to Hagrid in order to greet him. And the second part of the film ends. Thank you for watching.